In a bid to actualize the Lagos-Abidjan Superhighway project, heads of Ecowas state convened recently to finalize and approve the design of the Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway Development Project ahead of the procurement process set for discussion at the next meeting. The meeting held in Lagos and was chaired by Nigeria's Minister of Works, which was focused on the $15 billion project aimed at enhancing regional economic integration. Currently in its study phase, the project is undergoing detailed research, planning and design, providing an overview of the Lagos-Abidjan Highway development. The Nigerian minister noted that the project, initiated in 2013, had received substantial funding from African Development Bank. He also noted that the meeting was crucial for finalizing and approving the design, marking significant progress towards the implementation. It was also noted that Ecowas member states had already agreed on the project and the stages such as design, environmental impact assessment and funding mechanisms, which had been in development for the past 11 years. Ghana's Minister of Road and Highways underscored the role of infrastructure, particularly roads, in driving socio-economic development. He also highlighted how highways promote trade, tourism and economic activities, referencing the United States economic expansion as an example of this correlation. He emphasized the importance of the Lagos-Abidjan Highway project in advancing West Africa's economic integration and noted Ghana's strong commitment to its realization. Also, the Minister of Equipment and Road Maintenance for Ivory Coast reiterated the collective commitment of the involved nations to accelerating progress on the project. He also pledged to take concrete steps to ensure the project benefits the citizens of Ivory Coast and Nigeria. The Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway, scheduled to commence in 2025, is part of the larger Dakar-Lagos corridor and is a flagship of ECOWAS development program. The 1,068 km project will span 5 ECOWAS members countries, namely Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, Benin Republic and Nigeria, traversing 8 border towns and 4 country pair land borders from Eric Moore in Lagos to Abidjan. The project is financed by the African Development Bank. The project over time has attracted the interest of major investors. The head of cooperation at the EU delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS noted that the project perfectly fits into the framework of the cooperation between the European Union and the African continent, particularly the West African region. This cooperation, according to him, aims to strengthen the competitiveness of the territories, stimulate investment and encourage regional integration for growth and job creation. The ECOWAS Commission and the African Development Bank signed a retrocession agreement for the 1,080 km Abidjan-Lagos Highway project in Abuja. Alongside this agreement, contracts were also signed to cover 3 aspects of the feasibility, socio-economic and environmental impact assessment and detailed engineering design studies for the highway. The project aims to, amongst others, facilitate greater trade, enhance economic integration and boost prosperity of the region, as earlier stated. The proposed Abidjan-Lagos Corridor Highway, a 6-lane motorway, will connect some of the largest and most economically dynamic cities in Africa, which includes Abidjan, Accra, Cotonou, Lomé and Lagos, while covering a large proportion of West Africa's population. It will also link very vibrant seaports in West Africa and all the landlocked countries of the region, namely Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger. One of the agreements signed for the study on the technical, implementation and operation aspect of the project comes nearly some years after the President of Benin Republic, Togo, Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana and Nigeria signed a treaty on the establishment of the highway in March 2014. On this project, the EU actually noted that it was going to contribute $10.38 million, while the African Development Bank has approved the sum of $12.6 million financing package, bringing the total sum for the feasibility study to $22.7 million. Currently, the stakes for the region are high, as this corridor links 5 West African countries, connecting the main port of the region and 2 railway lines, as well as several north-south corridors, as well as serving directly 4 further countries in the hinterlands. The construction of a motorway and the establishment of a management system facilitating the borders will contribute to an increase in trade volumes in the axis, which already account for more than 75% of the commercial activities of the region. Access to efficient infrastructure and effective measures to facilitate transport will encourage the arrival of investors to finance and develop the creation of industrial clusters. It has also been noted that the development of trade and industrial production will directly benefit the local population, estimated around 40 million people along the corridor. According to investors, The EU's commitment to strengthening regional integration, stimulating investment, strengthening the business framework to develop the economy and employment is also expressed in the West African region in form of other highway corridors, some of which are also co-financed by the African Development Bank, namely Mauritania and Senegal, Ponte-Rosso Bridge, Guinea-Bissau and Guinea, Route Quebo-Bouquet, Guinea and Sierra Leone, Koya and Famouré, Benin Republic and Togo, Phase 2 of the rehabilitation project of the Cotonou-Lomé Road, and Côte d'Ivoire and Mali, Bamako-San Pedro, among others. All these projects are complemented by institutional strengthening actions also aimed at supporting Ecowas and its member states in facilitating trade and improving the competitiveness of the region. This mega project comprises the construction of a 6-lane 2x3 dual carriageway originating at Bingaville in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, and ending in Erikmor in Lagos, Nigeria, through Ghana, Togo, and Benin Republic. The Abidjan-Lagos corridor is approximately 1,028 kilometers long and connects some of the biggest cities in West Africa and some of the ports which will serve the landlocked countries of the region. The project is also expected to include 8 border posts along the corridor. The primary objectives are to integrate the economies in West Africa, improve the free movement of persons and goods along the corridor by reducing transit time and cost and improving cross-border trade, generate social and economic activities whilst reducing poverty and social inequalities. A 3-day review workshop which brought together representatives of member states from various sectors including roads and highways, immigration, free movement, customs, trade and other international stakeholder institutions and development partners who are interested in free movement of goods, services, persons and transport aims to agree on a framework that will guide the movement of trade, persons, vehicles and services along the new Abidjan-Lagos Corridor Highway without creating unjustified impediments. Consultant commissioned by Ecowas Commission to undertake the Trade and Transport Facilitation Study on the corridor presented their interim report highlighting some current situations on the corridor that are hampering trade and transport facilitation on the Abidjan-Lagos corridor and made some recommendations on how to ensure that such is drastically reduced or entirely eliminated upon the construction of the corridor highway. The interim report presented by the consultant will ensure that the best international trade facilitation practices are applied on the corridor highway upon its completion to reflect what the heads of state of member states envisioned upon signing the agreement to construct the Abidjan-Lagos Development Highway. The Ecowas Commission expects that by the time the detailed design study of the highway project will be ready, the Trade and Transport Facilitation Framework would also be ready so that they can guide the commencement of construction and operationalization of the full components of the highway project.